Hi guys, welcome back to Puzzle Burst update day. I don't know. So, as you probably already know, there was an update today, and the main thing I introduced was Skyblock Levels. As you can see in the tab, yeah, I'm level 151, and there's a lot of things that influence this though. And first is like Slayer. Okay, these are like the ones that you can just yeah, these are like basically the main ones, and they're gonna add more. They're gonna add more as time goes on. And one thing you should probably do is go to your commission milestones and just claim all of these. Like if you have these, because this is a lot of XP. Like this is one level, this is 80, and then yeah. So this is like basically 2 levels. And yeah, so now people are probably gonna start using the museum a lot more, since that is one of the ways. Somewhere here. Yeah, it is right here. Museum progression. They're actually giving museum like a purpose other than just flexing, really. And I guess you could unlock stuff like the Shen's auction with museum, but like that's basically it. And the second thing they added was Peak of the Mountain 7. So Peak of the Mountain 6 and 7. What 6 does is 2 gemstone powder. And what 7 does is it costs 750 gemstone powder, and it just adds 1 token of the mountain. So now, and also tier 7 gives another extra token of the mountain. Now it gives 3. So basically, you can unlock one whole side in the top. So you can unlock like almost one whole side. So daily powder and sky mode. That's what I'm going with. Like I already unlocked daily powder from the tier 7, and when I get Peak of the Mountain 7, I'll get daily sky mode. So yeah, so that's like basically all the mining updates. Like yeah, and then they also changed a few items, and what they did was the golden dragon. I don't have one, so I'm just gonna go to AH. Golden dragon. So let's just go to highest price and level 200. So now I think they changed Dragon's Greed. So before it was 0.5%, 0.5, now it's 0.5%. So in Dragon's Greed, the strength, it used to be 0.5, I believe, and now it's 0.5%. So basically buffed to like almost like everyone, basically everyone. Alright, quick interruption. This is Future Puzzle Fur from when I was editing the video, and I just realized I forgot 2 pets. I forgot a flying fish, which the admins buffed the quick reel ability, flying fish, by 5 fishing speed. So with rare, you see if there's a level 100 anywhere. Okay, well they only buffed it for legendary and mythic, so where are all the level 100s? Alright, so legendary, you see it says 80 now. That used to be 75. And mythic, it also says 80, and that also used to be 75. And another one is the zombie pet. They didn't nerf anything about its stats. They nerfed how you craft. They buffed or nerfed how you craft it. I have no idea. This used to be 8 zombie hearts, which is like 1 zombie heart is 8 stacks of ancient and rod of flesh. So like this is way easier to make. So yeah, that's basically it. And back to the video. Also, this is another main one. The Juju Short Bow now requires Void Gloom 5. So if you go over here, Void Glue. Okay, this hasn't updated, but now it requires Void Glue 5. I just granted that today on this one. Now I can actually use it. And yeah, I feel like they should have just done that from the start because it was way too OP for Void Bloom 3. And now like people already bought it, so now they just felt like they have to get it. Get to tier 5 now. Level 5. And they buffed Dark Claymore a bit. They halved the Livid Dagger's attack speed. They buffed Shadow Fury, which I have right here. It used to be base. Let's see. So base they buffed the strength by 5 and then the crit damage by 30. So if you just go over here, base 5 extra strength and 30 extra. It used to have no crit damage, and once you upgrade it with livid fragments, they buffed it by 30 strength and 60 crit damage. And now the Ragnarok Ax is right here. So the damage they nerfed it from 250 to 200, and then they also changed the perk, which was really OP. If you had this thing like max, it would give so much strength, to 1.5 instead of 2. 1.5 times this weapon strength instead of 2 times this weapon strength. And they also buffed the Spirit Scepter. Whatever you said. What do you call it? So Spirit. Right here. So they nerfed how much mana it costs from 250 to 200. So that's gonna be pretty useful in early game, like when you just got it. And they buffed some other stuff, like I'm not gonna say the exact stats because this barely matters. Super Cleaver, Hyper Cleaver, Giant Cleaver, and also the Cleave Enchant. Cleave Enchant, they buffed it from 3% per level to 5% per level, and they buffed the range from 0.3 blocks per level to 0.5 blocks per level. So I know, tiny buff, but it really needed it. And the Power Stones, they buffed the Furball, which is itchy power. Yeah, so they buffed the drop rate. They basically almost doubled the drop rate, and they buffed it by 5 attack speed and nerfed it by 5 normal speed. And Silky, they nerfed it by 5 crit damage, 5% crit damage, and buffed it by 5 speed. And then the Hazmat Enderman, they just increased everything by 5%. All the stats by 5%. Strength, crit damage, defense, health, and attack speed. And then now, Slayers are easier because it's basically 30% faster spawning them. And also, Luxurious Spools, they used to be like, what, 2.5 mil per? Now they are, which is the Silky Forge if you're wondering. They're really cheap because now you get them from Arachne, which I feel like that is also a pretty good change because Arachne dropped like nothing before. Now it's actually like kind of decent profit, and it's 100% drop rate, so it's like at least 100k per. And then now they also fixed mineral armor working on glowstone. Okay, and then one more thing is there's a new NPC in the dungeon hub. This is also pretty important, where if you go to him, it's not this one. I actually don't know where he is. Blacksmith. Oh yeah, here he is. So after completing a dungeon run, you get a selection of treasure chests, and if you complete one, right, and you don't open a chest during that run, it saves all the chests so you could open it later. So if you get a giant sword, right, and you don't have the money, you can spend like some time getting money, and then you could buy it within the next 2 days, because after the 2 days it expires, and it only holds 60. It only holds 60 treasures at once, and the treasures only last 2 days. Also, the emerald blade, they also changed that, which I think I have right here. So they added a new one, a new effect. So you get Curse of Greed when you hit something, and it cancels any effect that lessens your coin loss on death. So basically, if you have 2 bill and you hit something with them blade and then you die, you lose 1 bill, like no matter what. Yeah, you lose 1 bill. So yeah, I think that was like probably a lot of people might stop using it for like void glooms, and they probably still gonna keep it for like damage tests or something like that, but they're probably gonna stop because losing 1 bill, like 2 bill is the max, and losing 1 bill, that is a lot of money. And yeah, that's basically. Oh yeah, one more thing. Fairy souls now do not give any health, defense, or strength. They don't give any stats. They don't give any base stats. They just give you Skyblock XP. So in terms of health, I see 10 Skyblock XP. So in terms of health, I feel like this isn't that much of a change, because like this thing, the Skyblock levels give you a lot, like anyways. Okay, like look at this, 10, 5, 5, 5. Like this is probably way more, like 150 of these. That would be what, like a lot of fairy souls. And yeah, so now they do that. And also, the backpacks, you don't unlock them. The backpack slots, you don't unlock them until you get a certain Skyblock level. And they also transferred a lot of the early game stuff to Skyblock levels, like Wardrobe, Bazaar. Okay. Like somewhere over here you'll get. Oh wait, this is like. Okay, so Skyblock levels, and so yeah, here. This is Wardrobe. Also, the garden is gonna be level 5, so I feel like it's gonna be an early game update, which is like really needed. There's not a lot of early game content. Like there's not a lot of bingo, right? There's only like a couple of ways you can do bingo, and then it's auto pickup and community shop, bazaar. So yeah, basically they just moved everything into here, and now scams are gonna be way less. Like you can just look at their skill, and you can just like tell if they're probably gonna scam you or not. Because if they have a really low skill and they ask you for something really expensive, like probably gonna get scammed. Yeah, and so let's just demonstrate that by going on to our profile. It's been a while since I played on here. And yeah, so this is like all the levels. And if I go into here, yeah, these are all locked. I only have number 1. Here's what level am I? I'm level 15. Yeah, so I only have slot number 1. And yeah, that's gonna be it for this video, and make sure to like and subscribe if you want to see more of these update videos. And yeah, I'll see you in the next one.